Good morning. It is Saturday, November 20th, 2021. It's your favorite bitch, back again to see what this lunar eclipse, this partial lunar eclipse full moon in Taurus is teaching us. We're listening to a brainwave entrainment on an alpha wave. This is helpful for when we're doing something that, we're focused on, but not really focused on. Help us to receive whatever messages are coming up today a little bit clearer. I'll be starting off with the African Goddess Rising Oracle deck to figure out what this message is, to figure out what themes we are unloosing, what we are releasing during this full moon cycle. Remember, just let it show up. Remember that you are allowing yourself to just pay attention, be alert, be mindful. This is a time to be observant, but also speak if you need to speak. This is a time of you listening to what's not truly said. This is a time for you to sense these things out and listen to what your gut is telling you. So, what message do we have for our major theme? This is it? It's not it? Okay, what else do we have? Can I get something else? For this partial lunar eclipse in Taurus, I don't know why I keep wanting to say Gemini. I feel like this may be, you're dealing with somebody that's like a Gemini or some Gemini, like back and forth energy is like surrounding you in this very moment in time. This also makes me think about conversation. What conversations are going to be important for you to have with yourself? What conversations are really important for you to have with others? Do you take this, not necessarily personally, do you take what's being put on the table as true? And then if something feels off, are you feeling bold enough to continue to inquire a little bit deeper? Or do you just get to that surface level and let it sit there? Maybe it's a time for you to really start unearthing some things. I see digging beneath like the earth and or digging like not just the surface, you feel what I'm saying? Like getting underneath, like get into the root of everything, going underneath what may feel like it's easy. Our first message is around giving and receiving. This is Ma'at, the goddess Ma'at. So as you can see, this is a time for you to allow yourself to be free, allow yourself to let your wings be open, let yourself soar, let yourself fly, let yourself, be beautiful. Let yourself be received as you are. Like you can continue to give, but like if it's given and then it's given to a place that you're not necessarily getting it back, is that something you need to hold on to? And it's like you also know that you get to determine how much something takes out of you. You get to determine right now how much energy you are giving to this relationship, this situation, this person, this aspect of yourself that may feel like it is completely derailing your progress. Are you going to allow this to dictate how you are continuing to move on this? Because I see it's you. So if you look at the card, you've got this feather, you've got this heart. So I want you to just think about how important it is to be lighthearted during this season. I want you to think how important it is, that you have started this new beginning. You have gotten to this new sense, this new awareness of who you are and what you are made to do, who you are made to be. And it's very important for you to be calm, cool, centered, collected, and receive that. Listen to what's on your heart. Listen to what's in your spirit right now. Listen to what brings you joy. Listen to what keeps your heart beating. Feel intuitively or feel just, through your senses, going through your senses to allow yourself to be gentle with everybody and everything that's around you. But first and foremost, you have to be gentle with yourself. Our other card, because I just turned it over, came up as Tanit. The pleasure card came up in reverse. This is the number 11, so I'll show it upright. I've never pulled this card before because this deck is newer. But I feel like we are struggling with pleasure right now, like what makes us feel good. Giving to things that make us feel good, receiving from things that make us feel good. There may be some sort of issue around this. I also love that it's the next card up, number 11 from the number 10. So it's like, you know, progression is going to be very key, and you may not know what you truly like. You may not know what truly, you're getting your jollies from, you know? But this is a time for you to ask those questions. And I see a lot of this purple and gold color. So it's all about remaining in your royalty during this full moon lunar eclipse like season right now. What allows you to remain loyal? What allows you to remain connected to the stars, to the moon? What allows you to feel connected to your emotions? And also knowing that pleasure is deserving of you. You are deserving of pleasure, excuse me. You know, I feel like, especially as this is my experience, my personal upbringing, sometimes with like Christianity or religion, my stomach started going off just then. There's this sense of like sacrifice that has to be done. And I'm not saying that that's not true. There's definitely sacrifice that has to be given in order to receive. But also there's this lack of being able to find joy and being able to find pleasure, being able to really dive into this human experience and take everything that you can from it. It feels like we have to suffer in order to be happy. And I do not think that's what God wants from us. I do not think that's what the Holy Spirit wants from us. And this may be a sign for you to really tap into what's divine within you, and allow you to stop letting external sources and external reflections of what you're doing derail you from the things that make you happy, derail you from the things that bring you peace, derail you from the things that feel fun for you. It's only when it starts to become an issue, it's only when it starts to become something that stops you from being your best self, that you know is stopping you from being your best self, which is where you have to allow yourself to pivot, okay? I also get this right now, so that's going to be the number 21, breaking down to 3. This is going to be an extremely important season around your, I don't want to say your highest self, because I feel like that word is so like played out, but I want you to think about like your best self, and I want you to think about who are some of your guardian angels, who are some of the people that redirect your path, that you know that you can reach out to, physical, non-physical, no judgment, that you can reach out to during this time frame, that are going to allow you to just make sure that you're on the straight and narrow. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do this journey by yourself. You can't experience life without having some direction, having some guardrails, right? Because guardrails help us to get to our destination safely. It makes me think of the bowling alley. You know, you're going bowling, and it's like, if you're not a good bowler, you don't want to have just the gutters all open. You want to have the guardrail up, so that way each time you know that as you're going down, it's going to bounce off of something, it's still going to get to where it's going to get. And if you want to try it without the guardrails, that's perfectly fine too, if you know that you're at a place where you don't need those. But if you feel like you have to go back to having those, then that's okay. You can shift that up for the next game. But this is a season where it's really important for you to listen to what brings you to a space of peace in your heart. Brings you to a space of lightness in your heart. Let's get into these card meanings. So let's start with number 10. Number 10, Ma'at, I feel like I've pulled this for you all before. This is the goddess of giving and receiving. The element of air. Her name means order, as her father, Egyptian sun god Ra, rose out of the chaos and put her in charge of divine justice. The guidance here says, reset your harmonic balance. You're out of alignment. The sacred scales command you to give and receive. If you receive without giving, you're selfish and out of alignment. If you give without receiving, you are stuck in martyrdom and out of alignment. So it's all about knowing how to balance what you're putting out, what you're getting back, and also the reason why you are continuing to put out or receive back. You know what I'm like? I want you to think about, like, do I continue to put into this person because I feel like I just want them to accept me? I just want them to love me. I just want them to be present with me. and I'm continuing to give, but I'm not getting what I get in return, either because I'm not saying what I need or because I'm used to this and this is a cycle that I've always played out in my life. And this is a time where you can break the chains. Are you allowing yourself a space, an opportunity to break those chains and start asking and going for what you want? And then on the flip side, it's like, if you may be the person that's doing the bare minimum, you know, not really putting your best effort in, is that fair to you? Like, are you working at your highest capacity right now? Sit on it. Think about it. Giving and receiving is spiritual law and spell work. Give time, money, service, resources, and good vibes. If you're a generous giver, cultivate a practice of receiving. Receiving is a sacred feminine principle that makes many uncomfortable. Receive compliments, joy, support, pleasure, friendship, money, and love. They are all the same to spirit. So your declaration here: I give easily and freely. I receive freely and easily. Sit with that, okay? I know that I pulled this as I'm like sitting and I'm like, I know I just probably spoke about this within like the last month. So have you really been paying attention to how you are giving or receiving, or are you still doing old shit to show up in a way that you know that you don't necessarily need to show up? Like, really check in with yourself and make sure that you are not missing this cycle of the lesson that's being brought to you. My stomach just went off and it was 11:11 on the recording. So yes, make sure you pay attention to that. Number 11 is going to be Tanit, the goddess of pleasure. She's also the element of air. Tanit was the goddess of the stars in ancient Carthage. Today, all the way over in Ibiza, they still have pleasure-filled, full moon, midnight table dancing parties in her name. So the guidance here, it says, you're thirsty for more pleasure. You can't thrive when life feels dry. You're made of laughter and stardust, not sawdust. Pleasure is your birthright, a gift from the universe. Have you laughed recently? You know, have you allowed yourself to be an ethereal ass being that you know that you're meant to be? Or have you just been plugging away at life, just trying to get stuff done, you know, to make sure that your kingdom is upkept, make sure that your home is taken care of, right? But you can't thrive if your life feels dry. You need something to massage that energy right now. How much juicy pleasure can you stand? Turn up the pleasure principle. So what does pleasure mean? What does joy mean? What does like really just like letting yourself be free to do whatever the fuck you want to do right now feel like? And stop overthinking it, like, unless it is something that is going to threaten your life force, or unless it is something that is going to threaten the life force of somebody else. That's not what we're asking for you to tap into. We're asking you to make sure that you're coming from a place of, I deserve to have fun and I only have one life experience. I have been living up until this point. Only God knows how I've gotten to here, how I've gotten to this, you know, to this day, to this moment. But I'm still going to enjoy what's coming my way. How do you allow yourself to just heed that pleasure principle today? You secretly feel that you don't deserve it, but pleasure is a healing and manifesting force. Laughing, loving, and orgasmic joy is holy. Hold your hands over your reproductive area and say aloud, I deserve pleasure. So over your junk, over your stuff, over your body, over your lower region. I deserve pleasure. 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 Our goddess declaration: it feels good to feel good, okay? Feels good to feel good. Allow yourself to feel good. Allow yourself to feel open. Allow yourself to feel received. Allow yourself to do what the fuck you want to do. Like, make yourself do what it is that's gonna make you feel fucking good today, okay? Like, do what's gonna make you feel good this week, whenever you watch this, because this is a message that you can receive at any time. Okay, there's more. Let's see what we have next. We're gonna go to the Wandering Star Tarot, just to give a little bit more color to this. So as we are talking about giving and receiving, as we are talking about tapping a little bit more into our pleasure principle, let's see what actions we can take in order to make sure that we are sticking to this advice. So, Wandering Star Tarot, what magic do you have to share with us regarding, how to stick in our space of pleasure? One more, that's it? Okay, that is it. So we have two cards. We have the Six of Swords and we have the Ace of Pentacles. Six of Swords is coming up in reverse. So this is a reminder right now that you cannot hold on to things that do not deserve to be there anymore. And you've worked so hard, you've put forth so many skills, you've learned so many things recently that have allowed you to know and remind yourself that you are worthy of moving into this new space. You're worthy of moving into this new beginning. You're worthy of moving into this new start for how you decide to show up in the world, okay? It's all about getting out of your head, getting into your body, and making things happen instead of thinking about how others are going to take it. You feel what I mean? This is a time for you to just go balls to the wall and be the person that you feel like being, that is within the confines of your own safety. As long as you know it feels safe and feels good, who gives a fuck? So, okay? The Six of Swords keywords on the card are explore, discovery, and moving on. Have you allowed yourself to move on? Have you allowed yourself to explore? It feels like we're fearful of exploring. We're fearful of trying new things. We're fearful of stepping into our light, stepping into our purpose because of how somebody else is going to, receive it or say something about it, right? But you're smart enough. Keywords on Eight of Pentacles: education, action, achievement, hard work, and results. Education, achievement, action, hard work, and results. So it's like, you can stay in the same place. As you can see on the card, it's like on the Six of Swords, it's like they're using the sword to paddle out underneath the moon into a new realm. But like, are you allowing yourself to do this, or are you thinking that you have to stay stuck where you are? No, you get to start anew. You don't have to wait for the ball to drop for somebody else to tell you that you can be yourself. You don't need that green light from anybody else. This is your green light. You should have already had it, but I'm just reminding you that it is time for you to go ahead and float on to better islands, to better locations. Like, fly wherever you want to fucking go. And remind yourself that you have worked hard to get here. You have done so much to stabilize yourself in this new reality. You've done so much to give yourself an opportunity to show up as you are right now. So why would you ever go backwards? You are a worker bee. You are somebody that has valued everything that you put into your life to get you to this place, to get you to this moment while you are listening to this. So please do not let somebody else's perception or somebody else's murky waters, you know what I'm saying? Somebody else's weeds affect your life. It's all about breeding and breathing new life into your reality. Let's start with the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is a beacon of hope in difficult times. You've made it through the dark night, and it's time for you to recover, discover, and move on. This may manifest as a literal vacation or simply as a period to journey inward and take inventory of how much you've learned and how far you've come. However it unfolds, it's sure to be a peaceful, harmonious time. Distance yourself from uptight energies and drama. Perhaps even make a plan to travel somewhere alone to reflect on all the things that have brought you to this place in your life and to visualize where you will go next. Your quote: "I'm not afraid of storms, for I'm learning how to sail my ship." This is from Louisa May Alcott. So this is a time for you to reflect. Have you planned that trip? I feel like we talked about this recently, and you probably haven't done it because I haven't done it either. Have you planned that trip? Have you planned that getaway? Have you planned this, this opportunity for you to really settle within yourself, to recognize how far you've come? Or are you fearful of doing that because I don't have the money, or I don't have the time, or I'm not going to be able to have a good time? Like, no, like, it's time for you to move on. We're not working from that lack mindset anymore. We're recognizing the hard work and achievement that we have manifested into our lives. We're recognizing the work that we have done to be at this place, and this is just a reminder for that. With the Eight of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles says you've been a busy bee and your diligence is paying off. You may now be offered the opportunity to expand your skill set to achieve even more success. Take this opportunity to advance yourself. Keep your mind active and your aim true, and more rewards will come your way. Dedication to a new craft will keep your mind healthy and your spirit in a positive flow. Our earthly education ends only at death. So follow each path of interest until you master it, and your life will be rich in every sense of the word. The quote here says, "The purpose of life is to discover your gift. The work of life is to develop it. The meaning of life is to give your gift away." This is by David Viscott. The purpose of life is to discover why you're here. Once you figure that out, because it feels good, feels right, feels connected, develop it, and then give it away freely. Or give it away, because it doesn't have to be free. Like sometimes you got to add a little financial piece to it. You feel what I'm saying? But I want you to keep in mind that it's really important for you in this season to not hold on to what's not allowing you to be your best self. What is not allowing you to remember how connected you are to the universe, how you are connected to things outside of you that are bringing you peace, that are bringing you joy. Like pleasure is important. So how are you letting go and moving on and exploring what pleasure means for you during this new season, in this new year? Some of the things that used to bring you pleasure may not anymore. Maybe it's something new that you can flip and reverse, shifting into something, you know, that's a little bit more appropriate for you. But take that time, figure out what that means. And also know that there may be something, you know, new that piques your interest. And that's okay too. You are not made to stay in one place forever. All right. Hope that you found this helpful. Listen, never mind. Spirit said, girl, we got one more deck to close out because I did bring this, so we might as well fucking use it. We're going to finish with the Sacred Symbols Oracle deck, one of my favorites. I haven't used it in quite some time. Let's go ahead and see what our final piece of advice is. Sorry, let me pull you up. Okay, there we go. All right, what is our final piece of advice? You know, we talked about all of this joy. We talked about all of this pleasure. We've talked about like the act of giving and receiving. We've talked about how, you know, it's time for us to like do some things. Okay, no, okay. Well, it was a psychic card, just so you know. It's like, no, you not second guessing your psychicness. We're not second guessing like your intuitive nature. We're not second guessing just like your telepathy. Like, no. Yes, okay. The Divine Feminine card comes out. So this is tapping into that creative energy. So like whatever is triggering you, can you use that to channel into your new focus? Like whatever is triggering you, how are you using that in order to birth something brand new for other people to receive, even if it's just for yourself? It could be, you know, somebody in your family. Like this is a time for you to really tap into what is innately true and innately joy-inducing in your life, and focus on that instead of focusing on other people's projections and other people's, you know, reaction to how you're doing and how you're living. That's not what we need. The numbers 24 and the number 6 breaks down to the number 30, which is another 3, which I find very ironic. So this is just a reminder that, you know, you don't have to be doing all of this by yourself. You don't have to be doing this all by your lonesome. You know, this is an opportunity for you to spend time and be in community with others who have some of the same goals and who have some of the same foci as you. And this is a time for you to create, make magic, be your best self, take a break, eat a cookie, get some rest. Remember, sometimes we have to rest to create, and then we can focus again. If you feel like your focus is off, maybe it's time for you to just settle into your body, settle into your spirit, settle into just like that sense of relaxation, and then you can get yourself back on track. That's it. Okay, because listen, I got the message from the universe there. I'm gonna close it out here because I was about to say the little brainwave ended like 15 minutes ago, or not even 15 minutes ago, more like 3 minutes ago. You know, I'm dramatic. But I want you to think about how you feel as you've listened to this. Do you feel like you've received some guidance? Do you feel like your mentality has shifted? Do you feel empowered? If you feel empowered, that's exactly what I wanted for you to receive from this. This is also just like a reminder for me to just, this is me. You know what I'm saying? That was then, this is now. Okay? This moment is now. So knowing that, what you gonna do, baby boo? Thank you so much for listening. Please go share this with somebody if you think that they need this. Please make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Do not let other people's triggers derail the work that you have done in your life to get to this point. I'm very proud of you. I'm very grateful for you. And I'm very grateful for the fact that you are sitting here and you have received this if you watch this all the way through. Okay? This is your Scorpio Senor signing out for today. Again, Gangsta Gurry, out this motherfucker. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving. Because I'm sure that you will see this around this or what have you. And I hope that this gives you exactly what you need. Peace and hair grease. Hallelujah. Holla back.